So this weekend in the La Liga, Barcelona flying in form, same with Real Madrid. Lionel Messi just broke the record. Congratulations to him. And if I was to predict, he's going to continue and score, and it's going to be this battle between Ronaldo and Messi for the rest of existence. Let's talk tactics. Right, so with Barcelona, I'm kind of frustrated because they're doing so well going forward, and I don't want them to change anything because I like to see them play the way they used to play. But I want Luis Suarez to start scoring. I want to see the Luis Suarez that we've seen at Liverpool, but you're not going to see that Luis Suarez if he's playing out wide right. So you look at the formation they had in this last game. Suarez sitting out the far right, Lionel Messi bringing in the goals in the central forward position, and Neymar, as we know him so well, comes out on the left and comes in with the standard three midfield, Rakitic, Busquets and Xavi, and then their back four. So I don't know. I would like to predict that I would like this to happen. I don't know if Luis Enrique is going to worry so much about the way Suarez is playing compared to the way Barcelona is playing. Of course, he's going to be happy if they're continuing to score goals and Messi is breaking records all over the place. But I do think that Messi can score goals. When they used to have Ronaldinho and they used to toy with the different strikers, whether it was Ibra when he came in at that point, and they used to have other strikers who would provide goals. David Villa, Messi would still chime in with goals. I don't think he's as effective as a central striker. You could play him anywhere and he'll still score goals. But what me and the Geordie were talking about, if you want to watch that video, is why not play Neymar and Suarez as a front two? I mean, Suarez is very good as a lone striker, but he's also good as a partner striker. Remember Suarez and Sturridge's combination. Neymar's a different striker than Sturridge, but he provides a lot more movement with the ball. Neymar can take it on his own. That way Suarez can get in the box and use that clinical finishing that we've seen him do. But also, if they wanted to switch and have Neymar go up top and have Suarez drop a little bit deeper, they can interchange. But when you get Suarez out here, in the last tactics video I talked about, he's isolated to this lateral movement, just up and down. And it's not Suarez because he's so good at going direct to goal, making his runs from the right, coming in on the left, making his runs from the left, coming in on the right. He's so fluent, and I want to see him play the way he did with Liverpool. Now, Lionel Messi, don't worry about him, because the guy is so good at playing a free role. The guy can play wherever he wants. As we've seen Argentina in the World Cup, one moment he's on the right wing and he cuts in his left foot, puts it in the top corner, and he's dropping deep, making tackles. He can play any position he wants. Obviously, you don't want to change something. If this was a striker, I don't know, like maybe Torres, and you're like, oh, you don't want to change him because he's doing well, it's Lionel Messi we're talking about. You could change this guy, put him at right back, and he'd still be amazing. So that would be what I would like to do. I'd like to go with maybe, they could even play a 4-4-2 style formation with Messi in there, but just know that Messi's not going to drop much deeper. And you can have Busquets in here doing whatever he wants, Rakitic and Xavi playing whatever they want because they're strong at the back. And let's be honest, this argument about whether the La Liga and the Premier League, I might ruffle some feathers here, there's no comparison at this moment in time because Barcelona and Real Madrid are steamrolling every team they're playing against, because these teams just can't match up to this quality. When they play against each other or Atletico Madrid, it's going to be a big test. Obviously, but I still predict the big team to come through winning. But this is going to be a game that I'm going to be watching closely to see whether or not this La Liga is so one-sided between these big teams, the big three now, Madrid, Real and Barca, because Valencia are there or thereabouts. They have been, I remember in their prime, maybe 5-6 years ago, when they had some great players like the David Villa before Barcelona would take them. And if they could provide a fight in this game, they're going to go in with a 4-4-2. I went in with a 4-5-1 when I played against the Geordie in FIFA to try and predict, but it was impossible. It was almost exactly what it's going to be like playing against Barcelona, because you just can't break down that team. You can defend your life away, but if you're going to, it's just, you're not, unless you've got a defence like Chelsea or Inter Milan when they beat Barcelona in the Champions League that years ago under Mourinho, you're going to struggle so much. And I just think that if you're going to go with a 4-4-2 against Barcelona, you're kind of just making it harder for yourself. I think you need to go with a 4-5-1 or a 4-2-3-1, the way we talked about in Southampton. So if I was Valencia, very similar to what I'm playing here. They have a very good striker in Negredo, and I think that if they were to play somewhat of the same formation that we talked about with Southampton, that they may do against Manchester City, is just play an even deeper 4-2-3-1. So almost like a 4-3-2-1, maybe, yeah. And have these players playing here, And Negredo is a good lone striker. For some reason, they played him out on the right. If you look at the team they had in the last game, they went with a 4-4-2 and they actually dropped Negredo. I watched the game and he didn't stay out there for long. He managed to switch back in. Rodrigo went out wide and he played up top. Negredo's a good striker. Piatti's got a lot of pace. I found that out in FIFA and from watching him. He's got a lot of pace. I'd maybe put him wide. And the only way I think you're going to break down Barcelona is if you do what PSG do and you press high up the field. And with that, you have to play a 4-5-1, because if you press so high with a 4-4-2, what you then find yourself doing is you press so high, if they break out of this bank right here, you're left. with 6 players up against 4 of the best players in the world with runners coming up. And that's just impossible to defend against. You're going to concede a goal at that point. But if you play maybe a 4-5-1 and you go and that gives you that extra man to sit as a bank right in front of defenders right here, cover this space so he doesn't have to mark a man, and you're kind of picking up your numbers. And it's a way of just kind of stop them from doing what they're so good at. High press up the field with maybe 3 players with a spare midfielder coming in and try and win the ball in that area and hit them the way PSG did. If I was a Valencia manager, I'd be focusing on Negredo's height and his ability to win the balls in the air, as we've seen with Man City. Get the ball out wide, whip it in. But good luck to you, because Barca and Real Madrid look unstoppable at this moment in time. I predict a comfortable 2-0 victory for Barcelona in this game. But Valencia, as you know, have always been there or thereabouts. They can come up with an upset. Next week I'll be back, hopefully a lot better, not as sick, not as nasally, and with more action coming back. If you're watching after the game, leave your comments in the section below. Let us know what you thought of my analysis and whether I was right or wrong, and subscribe to TYT Sports.